Hello and welcome to Cape Cod Sports Talk, the best live updates in all Cape sports. All right, let's get right into it. Number one trending topic in Cape, you got it, Cape Cod Wiffle Ball League spring training. We had some on-field cameras down at the field giving us some updates on the training. Let's check it out. Well, according to my reports and the excitement from the fans, Frank Zabutis had an incredible day during pitchers' warm-ups, hitting all four corners of the strike zone, striking out several big names today. Plenty of big plays made in the outfield today, including Wiffle Ball All-Star Marlon Andrews. Fans were happy to see the black hole was back in full effect. What most fans were impressed with today is James Maple during batting practice. Maple was placing the ball all over the field, and it looks like he is ready for 2015.
Greetings, I'm Chip Kavanaugh. It seems the Cape Cod Wiffle Ball League players have been landing some pretty noteworthy endorsements of recent. Marlon Andrews has become the new face of Light Skin Cocoa Cream. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to try it. Edouard has become the new face of Micromeat.com, the first social networking site devoted to those men who are afflicted by the condition known as micropenis. Maxwell Sterling has started his own line of maxi pads. When I asked him why he would take on such an endeavor, he replied by simply saying it was the easiest way to get into a woman's pants. Back to you, Todd.
All right, 2015 Wiffle Ball returns. Cape Cod Wiffle Ball player Alex Jason is returning from a long off-season in Florida. When asking players around the league about his return, many players just shook their head and walked away. One player that's getting a lot of buzz is pitcher Nick Lyons. After his mysterious disappearance, apparently Nick Lyons has spent the last 6 months in an intense anger management course. As of lately, no one seems to know what happened to Nate McIntyre. And in another report, no one cares.
Dre Barboza is rumored to be out of wiffle ball until May. Rumors are that he is in Minnesota, working with a sports psychologist that specializes in wiffle ball athletes. Dre was reportedly upset with the season he had last year, but is expected to be a powerful presence on the field and in the batter's box upon his return. Todd, I understand you have more on this subject matter?
Yes, well, what I'm hearing from inside reports is Dre will miss anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks, and most likely not returning until the last week of May. Dre is reportedly at the All-American Training Complex in Minnesota, with wiffle ball experts specializing in batting techniques. Be on the lookout for an all-new Dre Barboza in 2015.
One question plagued everybody's mind last year. Who the hell is Chad Taylor? This mild-mannered, soft-spoken individual batted .640, hit 12 home runs, and drove in 41 RBIs. He led the Rookie of the Year, Dylan, in almost every department. When America was asked who was more deserving of the Rookie of the Year award, Chad or Dylan, America responded by saying, who the hell is Chad Taylor? We can only speculate. Back to you, Todd.
I mean, there's no question. These two men performed last year. But when you take a closer look at Rookie of the Year Dylan and compare his offensive stats with fellow rookie Chad Taylor, questions started looming. Chad leading Dylan in every category, and most would say they're a wash in the outfield. Well, spring training is wrapped up. Most of the players have already left, while others are still inside the wiffle ball training facility. I believe we still have Justin Elliott down at the field packing things up. Think we could get a camera down there? Yeah. Let's take you to the field and ask Justin a couple questions. Justin Elliott, how do you feel after wrapping up spring training?
I feel like I sucked.
Well, you need to start getting it together. You have high expectations this year.
The only high expectation I have is me kicking Marlon's ass.
Okay, well, you heard it first on Cape Cod Sports Talk. Justin Elliott going into his second year in the league. Big topic this year, will wiffle ball player Pat Gordon have another back-to-back season of more Facebook comments than at-bats? Paul says yes. Yes, he will. After fellow league member Big Frank Dizzle called Pat out on this action, Pat then unfriended Frank on Facebook, calling him a Big Frank jerk. then making a completely irrelevant statement by saying, "I'd rather have less at-bats with my stats than be as horrible as Dre Barbosa is at the plate." We have yet to reach Dre with his response. In more news with Pat Gordon. Apparently, Pat has went back to his roots with the P-Town Bears, spending his entire offseason hibernating there and training with men. Well, what I'm hearing is that there are two players in the league that have been most mentioned. I'm talking about Justin Elliott and Dre Barbosa. After both players coming off what would say a mediocre rookie season, these are the two most talked about players in the league. Chip?
I do agree. Both players had a mediocre season, but finished off the season strong. There definitely is some MVP potential between these two candidates for this coming season.
All right, well, who I am expecting to bounce back this year is Jimmy Zabutis. After a rough season in 2014, Jimmy Zabutis heard the whispers around the league, and he's going to show these rookies this year that he's a damn legend on the field. I'm calling it right now, Chip. Jimmy Zabutis, 2015 Comeback Player of the Year.
I'm not quite sure I see it, Todd. Nor do I see Edouard doing anything besides a lot of walking. That's about all he's good for, leading the league in walks. Whoop-de-frickin-do. One thing between these two people, Jimmy Zabutis and Edouard, that's going to plague their minds throughout this season is wedding plans. You're hearing it from me first. Drop-off seasons.
Well, Chip, you're not lying. Both players are getting married. To each other? Who knows? You decide. But I'll tell you what, these guys are not going to be thinking about their next at-bat or their next play. No, they're going to be daydreaming about the type of flowers they should be ordering. But I'll tell you who is going to have a great season this year. The other Zabutis brother, Big Frank Dizzle. You got it. This guy is an assassin on the mound. All right? This guy hits bombs. And once again, just like every other year, an MVP candidate. Chip?
I can't disagree with you, Todd. But one thing that you need to know about Frank Dizzle, he is being dropped from a lot of wiffle ball fantasy rosters. Injury prone. Not to mention the fact he's got a fielding range of a short stack of pancakes. What say you, Todd?
Well, Chip, I can't agree with that. After several injuries last year, many people agree that Frank Zabutis might be injury prone. Sure, he wouldn't like that one if he's watching right now. But what I'm looking forward is seeing Kevin Henry. Some would argue that this player might be the best all around in the league. I mean, after another, yet again, incredible season, let's check out the stats. Batting average, .603, 56 RBIs with 25 home runs, and that's also with just 126 at-bats, 98 less than Darby.
I agree, Todd. Kevin Henry is the likely candidate for MVP, with his skill set that eclipses the self-proclaimed MVP, Marlon Andrews, and suspected HGH user, Darby Lyons.
Anyways, if Kevin Henry shows up for more than half a season, maybe I'll give him a little more credit. Until then, my vote's on Darby Lyons. Boy, did he show up last year. .576 batting average, 79 RBI, tied for first, 31 home runs, league record. This guy put himself into first tier, where he joined only Frank Zabutis and Kevin Henry, and where Frank Zabutis became injury prone and Kevin Henry became no-show prone. Darby Lyons took advantage of the situation and balled out.
Ironic you say balled out. One thing known about steroid use is the lack of balls.
I fucking hate you, Chip. On to the next segment. Crisis with the Canadians.
What's that all about?
Well, apparently, good friends Edouard and James Maple, fellow Canadians, are having a little controversy. Let's bring up the stats. Well, where Edouard has a batting average of .545 with 154 at-bats, 4 home runs, 34 RBIs, 12 walks, most in league, 24 Ks.
James Maple, batting average .480, 61 hits in 127 at-bats, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs, 4 walks, 26 Ks in his rookie season.
Notice that these two Canadians, Ed Waugh and James Maple, are also the two players in the bottom of the league in home runs. That may be acceptable in the Canuck League, but this is America. Chip?
Astute observation, but may I make an observation as well? Ed Waugh, known for wearing sombrero to the field. James Maple, known for wearing a luchador mask. It appears these two Canadians have forgotten what side of the border they came from. But then again, if I had a home run total like that, I'd be embarrassed to be myself too.
Mexicans.
Earlier this week, CCST conducted a poll on the interweb. Who would you rather have on your team? And America voted. The votes are in.
They are in, Chip. 25% Ed Waugh, 22% James Maple, 43% a man down. Talking about stats, let's bring up last year's 2014 home run leaders. Check it out. As you can see, the top four of 2014, Darby Lions with 224 at-bats led the league with 31 home runs, a league record. Runner-up Kevin Henry with just 126 at-bats came in with an impressive 25 home runs. You can see third on our list is Frank Zabutis with 184 at-bats, finishing strong with 18 home runs. And closing off the last year's top four, Marlon Andrews with 168 at-bats seals the season with a good 13 home runs. I'm excited to see where our top four place in 2015. Okay, hold on. Yep. I'm getting told I have a player leaving the facility. Let's take you there live. Maple, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
How does it feel to finally be on the field after a long off season?
It feels great. It's a long winter, really cold, lots of snow. Feels really good to be out here in the warm weather again, taking some shots.
Now, fans were excited to see you had an impressive day during batting practice. Are you ready for 2015?
I was born ready. God, you should have seen me last year. I kind of sucked up all over the field last year. Got big aspirations this year.
And what does JWO mean?
Oh, this? Yeah, this little side project I got going on. Don't worry, you'll know about it soon enough.
Okay, that's James Maple, Cape Cod Wiffle Ball League player. He is ready for the season. Let's take a look at some footage and see who stood out at spring training today.
How's it feel to come back 2015 season?
Great! About damn time!
I'm probably gonna miss like the first 3 swings.
Well, I cannot wait for opening day. There is already a lot of hostility on the field. Well, we will see you next week on Cape Cod Sports Talk. And this Sunday, Cape Cod Wiffle Ball League opening day. Don't miss it. See you next week.